right, guys, are there any questions over any of the assignments thus far?
Yeah, hold on.
Can I get a sticky one?
Yes.
Oh, I was looking for the yellow ones. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we just say some 10 on the board?
So, it's 10-4. We'll look at 4 and 10.
After we do that, can we look at 15?
There wasn't 15 last. 5.4. We'll look at that at the end of class.
Okay.
Number 4 from last night. So far, guys, we have side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. We have 4 methods that work. Now, if we look at this here, we have C and B. Now, we have that 2 angles are congruent. We have that angle A is congruent to angle D, yes? We also have that angle BCD is congruent to angle BCA. Because if that is a straight line, the 2 angles add together to be. So if this is 90, the other one has to be. And then we have that CB is congruent to itself. So number 4. And if we look at the 2 sides, so we have side, angle, angle, and here we have side, angle, angle. So they do line up, so these 2 are congruent. So SAA or AAS. Angle, 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 side, or side, angle, angle.
Did you already grade my paper on that?
Possibly.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
No. Yes. Either one.
I said AAS.
AAS. So let's look at number 10. Now number 10. So that one's one of the few that we can, because angle, side, angle, if we flip it, it's still angle, side, angle. Side, side, side is still side, side, side. Angle, angle, side's the only one where if we flip it, we get something that looks different. The rest, it's pretty much you flip it either way, it's going to be the same thing. Now, for this one here, we have A, B, C, D, E, F. And for number 10 is the one we're looking at. We're told that angle C and angle F are congruent. We're told that AB and DE are congruent. And then we're told also that BC and EF are congruent. We need to determine, or we want to prove, that these 2 triangles are congruent and explain your reasoning. So we do have a set of sides that are congruent. Yes?
No, because it's side angle.
Yep.
Not the square congruency.
No. Side, side, angle doesn't work.
I can tell it by the way you're not.
So 6, I'd go on and set it up, see if it's side angle, side angle, side angle, and see if they match. All right? If you have more questions on it, we can look at it here in a little bit. For number 6.
Yeah.
So we'll look back at it, but again, set it up and see does it match and do they follow the same on that.
I got yes. by SAA because side.
Check on how they're set up on the triangle, because the order that they're set up on the triangle is what's important. Because is it two angles followed by a side, or is it angle, side, and an angle? But I also don't have the shape memorized. So now, looking at this here, what we're talking about today is CP, CT, C. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So if we can show that two triangles are congruent by side, 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 angle, side, or angle, angle, side, because we do have those three pieces of information to say they're congruent, we can then say the rest of them are, the rest of the corresponding parts. And we can say it by the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Because if two triangles are congruent, it means all their parts, or corresponding parts, also have to be congruent. So once we prove two triangles are congruent, we can say the rest of their corresponding parts are congruent as well. By the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Or CP, CT, C. So, looking at this first problem here, explain how you can use the information to prove that the hang glider's parts are congruent. So, given angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and angle RTQ is congruent to RTS, and we're also told, so we want to prove that QT and ST are congruent. Okay? So we're given these two triangles. Well, with any of this here, let's see here. We always want to start out with the given. We always want to start with the given. And what are we given? Well, we know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, yes? And we also have that angle RTQ is congruent to angle RTS. And for us here, this is an angle and angle. We have two angles, yes? And out of all of our congruencies that we have side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and side or side, angle, angle. The two that don't work are our angle, 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 or side, side, angle. These don't work. So these, because these are the ones that work. So side, 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 angle, or angle, angle, side. These are our shortcuts that work for congruency, yes? These don't. So we need to have one of these setups here to show that the two triangles are congruent. That's where we need to start. Can we use side, side, side for this here? Have we been given any side lengths? No, so we can't use this for this one here. How about side, 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 angle, side? No, because we're given two angles. So we're either looking at angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. Because we do have two angles. Do we have any sides that are congruent? RT is shared in both, so we can say that RT is congruent to RT. So we have angle, angle, side, yes? So from this here, all this here, we could say that triangle what? Yeah, QRT is congruent to SRT. Because QRT, SRT are congruent by angle, angle, side, or side, angle, angle. Yes. Since we said the two triangles are congruent, the corresponding parts must be congruent as well, which means we can say that QT is congruent to ST by corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Or we can say CP, CT, C. Questions on this here? Technically, this does need to be fixed a little bit. Because is angle 1 and angle 2 actually in the triangles? No, they're outside. But if I know that these are congruent, angle RQT is going to be congruent to RST because of supplementary angles. Since the two add together to be 180, since 1 and we can call this 3 add together to be 180, 2 and 4 add together to be 180. Since 1 and 2 are the same, 3 and 4 must be the same. So really we needed a step in the middle here. I noticed that as we were about halfway through, to say that since these are congruent, 3 and 4 are congruent, so that gives us that angle. Does that make sense? Huh? Where's 1 and 2 for this here? Are 1 and 2 inside the triangle? Okay.
She was asking about us.
Here.
Right there. No, down. Down. Right there.
Hence? Yeah, it's just hence. Hence. Or therefore. Because, so we're almost saying the two triangles are congruent. Hence, or kind of we can say, therefore, since this is true, hence this. So because we have them congruent, then it means that. Yes. Any other questions on this here? Yes.
What did CPCT
Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Questions on this here? Explain how you can prove that angle A is congruent to angle C. So the first thing we need to do is show that the two triangles are congruent. So side, side, side. Side, side. So we're saying that side, side, side. So we need 3 sets of congruent sides. So AB and CB, because both of those lines have 2 marks, so they're congruent. We can say AD is congruent to CD because both of those lines have 1 mark. And then BD, because that is the same line. We can really say that it's the reflective, let's see here, yeah, reflective property. But because we have these, we can say that triangle, what? So ABD is congruent to triangle. So we went ABD, so we would need to go CBD by side, side, side. Therefore, because what did we want to prove? Angle A is congruent to angle C by what? B, C, T. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. CP, CT, C. At least we don't have to write that all the way out. Questions on this here? ABD. Triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD because we follow the same path. Now the way that we do the first one, so ABD, because we went ABD. We could have chose ADB, any order of those 3. Doesn't matter the first one. The second one just has to follow the same path. And if I wanted to, I could have picked CBD or CDB or DCB. I could pick the other one first. Doesn't matter which one we pick first. We just have to pick one and get the other to match. Questions on this here? Okay, use the diagram and explain how using new given information would change the proof in example 1. So the way we went about it. Now, they tell us that QRT is congruent to SRT. So these angles are congruent. They tell us RTQ is congruent to RTS. These two angles here. Prove that, I believe that's supposed to be, it's QT is congruent to ST. So we want to prove that these two sides here are congruent. Now, looking at this here, is there any other information that's given to us in the picture, guys? RT is congruent to itself, yes? So which one of the three congruency shortcuts are we going to use? Almost. So we have two angles and a angle, side, angle, yes? So the one that we need is angle, side, angle. So our angle that we have is QRT is congruent to angle SRT. We also have that RT is congruent to RT, and our other angle is angle RTQ is congruent to angle RTS. So since we have this here, we can say that triangle what?
QR, what is that? BT, QRT. Yeah, QRT is congruent to SRT.
By?
ASA.
Angle, side, angle. So we can say that QT is congruent to ST by what? Questions on this here? Questions on any of this here so far? Let's look at the next one. Explain how you can prove that angle W is congruent to angle G.
And was one of the W's congruent to you can just use the thing where the first two letters are always congruent.
Well, for us to be able to say it, we need to say the two triangles are congruent. So we do have a set of sides. We have a set of angles, and we have a set of sides. So we could say WU is congruent to GH. We can say that angle U is congruent to angle, and we can say HI is congruent to UV. So we do have enough information to say that triangle WUV so WUV GHI by Therefore, angle W is congruent to angle G by and that's it. Any questions on any of this here?
This is kind of off topic. After Christmas, let's play.
Not- no. Mainly end up getting gift cards for the most part, which I end up using to get books.
That's like I was getting
Kindle. I mainly get them off the Kindle store.
What?
I do digital books,
Oh.
you know, because they take up less space, and I can store them on my phone. Yes. Do we have any questions on any of this here?
Wait, with this, that wouldn't be congruent, would it?
So guys, before we finish, let's look at this one here. So, this,
Is it the same?
so that would work, but it's angle side.
Oh, yeah, but it's not congruent.
It is. Angle side work, side angle. SAS, or S.
Oh,
SAA.
yeah,
AAS. Do we need to see another example of one of these here?
yeah.
Okay. So guys, let's look at this one here. This is the last one we'll do together. So if we look at this here, we are told that angle E is congruent to angle S. We also have that line segment DR is congruent to FD, guys.
Oh.
Side, and we have an angle and a angle, yes? Now, I'm going to list out all the ones that work. So all the ones that we have that work are side, yes? Side, angle, angle, and angle, side. Now, looking at what we have, well, we're given a side and an angle, yes? So we know side isn't going to be one that's going to work because we already have an angle, so most likely we're not going to be looking at that one there. Given an angle and a side, so side angle side could work, but are we told any information about another side length? So it's looking at these last two. Now, exactly, these two angles here are congruent because of vertical angles. So we can say angle EDF is congruent to angle RDS. So that does give us another set of angles. So would this be angle side angle or angle side? So let's start on one of these here. So we have a side, an angle, and an. So we can say side angle or angle side. If we do this here, we have side angle, and the angles are lined up in the correct order. So we can say exactly that triangle EDF is congruent to triangle. So EDF S is correct because I went E to D, so 1 to 2, so S DR by angle side. Therefore, because we were wanting F and R, angle F is congruent to angle R by CP CT, C. And that's it. Yes.
Also, is the first triangle,
Mhm.
is that R? Or
Yes. EDR.
I thought it was R.
No, sorry, EDF. Yes. Yeah, because EDF, we're looking at the one on top. Just didn't pick the pin up enough to get it to split the tube.
Yeah, I wrote R too. And I was like, but I pulled the R on the other side, so I was like,
Yep. Yeah. Any other questions?
this could be a report.
No, it's the same exact thing. Because if we look at the last one there with the river, explain how to use the measurements in the diagram to find the distance across the pond. So those are the same, those are the same. So side, side, and we have vertical angles. So it means this is, yep. Because since we can say the two triangles are congruent, it means their corresponding parts have to be congruent. So those two lengths have to be the same. There you go. Three, four. Yeah, I know. Because I'm handing them 6.
What am I doing?
Well,
Passing it back.